It's my great privilege, honor, and pleasure to welcome and introduce Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar to the Asian Development Bank. We talk a lot in our ADB work about countries' well-being, or we look at companies, we look at entities that we work with, we look at companies' well-being, a lot more than what we talk about our own well-being. We kind of take it for granted. Until a few years ago, in fact, even now, mental health is a taboo topic in many countries, many societies. And in fact, it continues to be so even today in many parts of the world. In fact, even in our own midst, many may not want to talk directly about mental well-being. But among all the bad things that the COVID pandemic brought about, it did bring about a couple of good things. One is the need to focus on the external environment, but the other is also the need to focus on our own internal environment. All of us in this context need to learn the art of living. Most of us think we know it from birth, but we don't. And this is what Gurudev has been practicing and changing, transforming lives of people all around the world. There is no person better than Gurudev Sri to talk about overall well-being and how we fit into our societies, into countries, and in the world. He is a globally recognized humanitarian leader and peace ambassador. Gurudev, through the Art of Living movement and the International Association of Human Values, continues to inspire programs that promote human values, peace, and well-being at the individual, community, country, and international or global levels. His impact has now been spreading over the last 43 years with presence in 180 countries, with 35,000 plus trainers, and with an estimated 450 million lives touched. Gurudev Sri has helped individuals manage their own minds, better connect with themselves, which is very important, improve their relationship with others, which is also very important, and take actions, call it leadership actions. All of us are leaders at our individual levels. How do we really internalize what we need to learn about ourselves? The focus is on strengthening individuals who in turn are inspired to contribute positively to societal development as leaders who use both head and the heart, and actually the head, heart, and the hands need to come together. Today, Gurudev Sri will speak on amplifying the development impact we create through focusing on individual and societal, mental, and physical well-being and resilience. Without further ado, once again, it's my immense privilege to request Gurudev Sri to start the talk. We'll have time for Q&A. Before that, we will have a meditation session, which will be very, very special, I can assure you. You can pose any questions to him. Any practical issues that we face at the individual levels in our work, how do we mainstream mental health considerations into our work that we do?
What is the definition of stress? We all may have different definitions. One definition I would like to present to you is too much to do, too little time, and no energy. Right? And today we can't reduce what we need to do with the social media and with all that information we gather and then the reels we see. With all that to do is a lot. And time is constant. The only variability here we see is our energy level. Do we feel energetic? Are we getting good sleep? Are we having our attention span better than what it was before? Or is our attention span getting reduced day by day? Okay, how many of you have experienced this? You are talking to somebody and the person whom you are talking to, they are not there. How many of you had this experience? They're not fully there. You talk to them for 20 minutes and then you ask them, hey, you never said this before to me. Like, you have said it, maybe repeated it 3 times, but it doesn't really go into them. What do you call this situation? Mental health is, to say it's a mental issue problem is a little too hard hitting. We simply say, that's how it is. Spaced out or preoccupied. We are in a constant run of preoccupation, so never are we able to perceive everything that is presented to us or around us. Our perception goes for a toss. If our perception is erroneous, our judgment goes for a toss. Then our observation and our expression gets very badly affected. If our expressions are not the way we want it to be, either we blame others or we blame ourselves. We end up in a blame game. Are you all here? I'm going to keep asking this question because I don't want you to go for a cappuccino break in between my talk. What psychologists say is if you are talking to somebody for 10 minutes, they take 3 cappuccino breaks. Mentally, physically, maybe present. So what is the solution? What can we do about it? Yeah, that's where art of living comes into play. We see there are 4 sources of energy. You have to increase your energy level. You have no option because the things you have to do or you need is not going to be less. However you minimize it, still it's a lot to handle and handle efficiently. So what we need to look into is 4 different sources of energy by which we can increase our energy level. The first one is food. We have to pay a little attention to our food. Too much food takes away energy from you, and no food also doesn't provide you any energy. Right amount of food. Second source of energy is sleep. And today this is a big issue. And you watch the screen day and night and you go to bed and you wake up more tired than when you went to bed. So sleep, which is supposed to give us deep rest, are not providing as much as it should or it could. Again, here too much sleep also takes away your energy, makes you more heavy and so sort of hangover, dull. And so right amount of sleep. And what can improve our sleep is our breathing. Breath is the 4th source of energy. Without food and sleep, you can carry on for a couple of days. The soldiers in the borders of all the conflict areas, they don't sleep much, but they carry along. They somehow draw energy. But without breathing, nobody can. The breath indicates to us in so many ways, hey, look, I am here. I am your friend. Give me little attention. I can pump you with so much energy, which we have thoroughly ignored. Because nobody taught us about our breath. Our breath is connected to all our emotions and state of mind. If you are feeling lethargic, you breathe differently. If you are energetic, you breathe differently. If you are upset, it is indicated in your breath. If you are happy, you breathe differently. So every emotions has a corresponding pattern in the breath which has not been understood at all or taught anywhere, except in some schools of martial arts and some schools of theatrical schools. They tell you, oh, breathe this way, that way, but never explain the science of breath. That's where art of living comes into play. The fourth source of energy is a pleasant mind, happy mind. The day you are happy, you are able to perform better, you are able to communicate better, your attention span is better, everything is better. And that happy state of mind or a subtle, serene state of mind is what I call a meditation. And this is also a big source of energy. 15, 20 minutes of meditation can pump us with so much energy. And there is evidence-based research on that throughout the world. There are more than 1,000 research papers which has been published on Sudarshan Kriya alone and the meditation techniques. In this last 43 years that we have been working, you will see when BMW or advertisement relaxation is equated to meditation. Comfort is synonymous with meditation. So meditation has become a mainstream language. It's a non-denominational meditation. Now, the question comes, is meditation related to religious feelings and sentiments or belief system? No, 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 no. There's a difference between practices like meditation, yoga, and religion. Religion comes with your birth, your naming ceremony, your whatever Christianing, then your wedding and your burial. Religion goes with your lifestyle, all that. But this is something very personal, the spirituality, what I would call as spirituality, that which uplifts your spirit, that which brings in you joy, happiness, love, and appreciating beauty in the nature, being responsible, being responsive. All these qualities, characters of consciousness, our self, our mind, I would call this as spiritual. Anyone who loves being peaceful and help others, have compassion toward others, this is all the quality of spirit. See, we are made up of both matter and spirit, right? Our body needs amino acid, proteins, carbohydrates, and all that stuff. Our spirit is made up of energy, enthusiasm, peace, love, integrity, loyalty, attention, compassion, all these qualities, right? Appreciation, beauty, of course, anger, greed, all this is part of spirit only. Our mind, our consciousness, whatever you call it. So anything that enhances our strength, our inner strength, I would call as that which is the self-development or spirituality. Because this word spirituality is very, it has a lot of baggage because it has been used and wrongly used or whatever it is. But even keeping that aside, I would say anything to do with yourself. Now, the new word has been coined is mindfulness. Mindfulness is being so attentive to anything you are doing, having presence of mind. That's only a tiny aspect of consciousness, not the whole of it, I tell you. Meditation is relaxation. And relaxation gives rise to attention, focused attention. And we need both. We need focus and we need relaxation. They are very complementary, and what I would call as meditation is that which involves both, not only keeping you attention, which leads you to more tension. So too much of mindfulness is no good, I tell you. It keeps you, so then you worry about not being mindful. And that becomes a stress of to be mindful all the time. You don't need to be, you need to be relaxed. You need to be centered. And that which makes us do this, I would call as meditation. So meditation is the fourth important source of energy. I would take it as a first source of energy, but for practical reason we can say, yeah, it's a fourth source of energy. It doesn't matter whether we agree or disagree. Are we aware of what we are saying in our own mind? That's very important. Are we conscious about our own thought process? I would say in many of the corporate meetings, people talk and they don't realize what they're talking. That's an issue. And then you say something and you end up defending what you have said with all logical or illogical reasons, and then all the talks collapse. You know, when I was I was leading a meditation on the first International Yoga Day in United Nations. Then the Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, he was also present, and that was the day it was declared, June 21st. After little stretches, I led them through meditation. You know what Mr. Ban Ki-moon said? He said, Gurudev, we need this before every negotiation. If we had had this before every negotiation, I think we would be more successful. Wars are generated in the minds of people. Conflicts are generated in the mind of people. WAR, I would say, worst act of reason. Reason has very good aspect also. This is also reasoning. I'm reasoning. But the worst act of reason is you will find what we are doing is the right thing. Because we are coming from a stressed state of mind and we are not ready to accept that we are stressed. So attention to our own self. We have 7 aspects to our life: body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego. See our memory, how it reels. And, what is this ego stuff we have? And it's good. It's not that you should get rid of ego. Ego is part of your life. And the 7 layers of our existence, learning a little bit about them all, I would call as the art of living. That helps you to communicate better, that helps you to sleep better, that helps you to be happier and healthier in life. Now, the medical science has today declared that breathing exercise, meditation, improves our immune system 5 times, not once or twice. 5 times it improves our immune system. It makes our body more resilient. It makes our mind stronger and healthier. Our attention span increase. Post-pandemic, I want to say, this is very important. The world is facing a crisis. The crisis is we are swinging between aggression and depression. Every 40 seconds, one person is committing suicide. This is World Health Organization's report. It says the biggest issue in the world today is mental health crisis. On one side, there is depression among people, young people. And suicidal tendencies are rising. On the other side, we have aggression. At the drop of the hat, people becomes very aggressive. Divorce rates have increased 3 times more post-pandemic. This is not the healthy society that we all envision, isn't it? We want to see a society which is healthier, happier. So, in short, I would say a violence-free society, disease-free body, confusion-free mind, inhibition-free intellect. This is something I need to say here. Inhibition is something that has ruined our planet Earth and peace on this earth. We have different type of inhibitions. Prejudice. Prejudice against religion, prejudice against, race, prejudice against gender. Gender prejudice is still a lot on the planet. Don't you agree with me? How many of you agree on this? There is gender prejudice. It's so saddening that in this scientific age, we still can't see people all as people, but we see them through the lens of prejudice, gender prejudice, religious prejudice, you know, and educational status prejudice. All these type of prejudice, prejudice-free intellect, trauma-free memory. Trauma has become so big today. I think these are, and sorrow-free human beings. This is the birthright of every individual.
COVID-19 has obviously led to a big increase in mental health issues, particularly mental depression. Children are very badly affected. In fact, many children that we have here in the ADB world, but also we work with a lot of countries, and this is a major challenge. What is it that we can do to address this?
We are there with you. We can jointly work on that. We have done with the European Union in Syria for 30,000 kids. We are adopted and we were co-sponsored. Some of our activities are sponsored by the European Union, and the results are amazing. And we had a pre and post examination by the psychologist who documented it. So we will do any such work with Asian Development Bank wherever it is needed. Ours, as you know, is a charitable organization. Our very dedicated volunteers are there. We can start as a pilot project, and then you can see the result of it, and we can expand it. Skill development is something that's very much needed, it's not just the technical skills, but also skill in communication, skill in handling their own mindset, skill in expressing what they want to so that other people get what they want to. I mean, basically proper communication. And then the skill set also says how you present yourself, how the personality outshines their qualification. See, you may have a high qualification, but your personality is not shining. All your qualification is good for nothing. It doesn't really get you a job. Or it doesn't bring you satisfaction or what you want to do. You are unable to do it. You are not able to do it. And then you end up saying, poor me state. So here, the training that we give along with the skills, we have tied up with Schneider and Bosch and many other companies in India, L&T. So along with that, we also train the young people to be resilient. See, life has ups and downs, and if you have a good resilience in you, you always float up, you stay afloat. And so resilience, presence of mind, better communication skills, and outshining personality. That makes a person more confident in expressing himself or herself and able to take challenges. We train youth to take challenges, challenging work, so that they don't get bogged down with even a small little problem. Today they try to drop it and run away like hot. See, those tendencies need to be corrected. And that's what we are very, very, very good at it, in helping young people, usually teenagers or even past teenagers, to become really committed, focused, and happy persons. Tough people, so that I feel they have a lot of potential. It is just something, some skill in them that brings frustration, which can always be turned to their benefit and to the benefit of the society. First of all, you should know you can do it all. Don't think you can't do it. That's your first block. that stresses you out. When you know that you have capacity, that's why you get those challenges coming to you. Okay? And whatever challenge comes to you, you are able to do it, you can do it, you have the potential within you. Number one. Second, as I said, increase your energy level. Time and again, take deep breaths in. Don't ignore your own health, physical or mental. If you're exhausted, no point in taking the job at that time. That time you take rest. Two. Third is stop worrying. And it's easy to say, easy said than done. You may say that, but I would like you to look back. This is not the first time you were worried. You worried last year, you worried year before, you worried so many. It's not a new thing for you, but you forget every time you worried, you later on you felt it was futile worry, because life is anyway carrying you further, right? That confidence, how you could overcome the previous fears, will give you strength now to move on. Okay? We give a children a wider exposure and give them the importance of honoring parents, honoring grandparents, a sense of family values. I would say family values, human values. We have designed program for the kids around the world where they can be more intuitive, they can be free from prejudice, and they can see the generation gap is just in their own mind. They can see beyond that. As I said, you cannot influence your kids. If teenagers get together and they talk about their values and families and or whatever, there is a big bonding. Here I would like to just mention, there was a survey done in the Delhi University. We did, Art of Living did, about 1,000 kids. We asked them, it's easy to find the negative answers, negative questions answered. Whom do you hate most? Instead of whom do you love, we asked them the question, whom do you hate the most? 80% of the kids said they hate their parents the most. And whom do you hate the second most? 85% of them said their professors and teachers. And then we had a 7-day program for them. And I had to tell you how it changed their life. On the last day, the parents came and they said, Gurudev, what has happened to our kids? They're totally different. They have become so kind. That's why, our program Sky for schools and Sky for colleges, Sky campuses are today introduced in 108 universities in America. Stanford, Harvard, everywhere we have Sky campus. In many universities, it is for credit. When children study, they are given credit. And one very good news I would like to bring it to you. Our work in New York district schools for past several years have given rise to a very fruitful result with evidence-based research. The mayor of New York has announced late last year, that 5 minutes of breathing is made in all the schools as part of their routine. So every child has to breathe 5 minutes. In the city of New York, it has made a big change in the violent incidences happening in the class. You can't just be peaceful yourself and when the turmoil is there all around you. You can't be happy if people around you are not happy. That's where the service activity, Art of Living and IAHV is involved in the service activity throughout the world, and that says it all. You need to do both, not just meditation, but meditation coupled with service, helping people around you makes a difference. First of all, believe you can make a difference in lives of people around you. If you meditate, you get, see, for any business or any effective work, you need three things. One is intuitive ability, innovative spirit, and the third is the intelligence to be resilient. And all the three you can achieve by one simple thing.
We are super privileged that you chose ADB to be a venue, and you accepted our invitation to come here and share with us your advice and guidance. Hugely appreciate. We have I saw 122 people online. There were about 140 people connected, and plus about 100 people plus here. So we all have gained a lot. We were thinking what gift to give you, a very small token of appreciation. In fact, we thought we should give you a book we produced on mental health, but you know a lot about it. So we thought maybe that's not the appropriate one. So instead, what we are going to give you is a book on the ADB's history.
Violence-free society, disease-free body, confusion-free mind, inhibition-free intellect, trauma-free memory, and sorrow-free soul, sorrow-free being. And all that we can do to bring this, I would say, is what we all need today to bring in the world. What do you say?